Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Ruchita Batra and today in this video we are going to learn how to make a labial bow. So for a labial bow you have to mark the dimensions, the labial bow on the cast. So there are three components in the labial bow: the horizontal bow, two U-loops and two retentive arms. So the horizontal bow, it will pass on the labial surface of the incisors on the junction of the incisal third and the middle third. So it should be roughly here. The U-loop will start from the mesial third of the canine and it will go down 2 to 3 mm below the free gingival margin, and then it will continue as a U-loop, and then it will continue as a retentive arm, and it will be adapted on the palatal surface, and same on the other side. So we are making a small short labial bow. So the short labial bow, the retentive arm in the short labial bow, it will be running from it will go from between the canine and the first premolar, and in the long labial bow the retentive arm will pass through between the first premolar and the second premolar. So this is the only difference between the bow, and the U-loop will be the U-loop in short labial bow is on the canine, but in the long labial bow it will be on the first premolar, and that is the only difference we have in the construction of long and short labial bow. So I am going to make this labial bow from a 23 gauge wire. So labial bow can be made from different wires. 23 gauge wire is used for the retraction purpose, 22 gauge wire is used for the retention purpose, and 21 to 19 gauge wire is used for the reinforcement purpose. So we are going to make it from the 23 wire. So to start with, to make a labial bow, we have to give the curvature of to the wire, and we don't have to straighten the wire. You have to give a curvature, so so that the wire should be touching the cast passively. So how you are going to do it? You have to use your fingers and just give little bends and try to give it a curvature. The wire should passively touch the labial surface of the cast. So it is roughly touching. Okay. And now we are going to proceed with the U-loops. So to make the U-loop, you have to mark a point where you have to give a 90-degree bend downwards. So we are going to mark it on the wire. It is on the mesial third of the canine. Okay. And then make sure the wire is in one plane before you give a bend, and then bend it downwards and straighten the rest of the wire. Now check it on the cast. Make sure that you are checking every step of labial bow on the cast, because more you check, the more it will, the less corrections you have to make it in later. So we have made the 90-degree bend, and now we are going to make a mark on the wire for the U-loop. So the U-loop should be 2 to 3 mm below the free gingival margin. So we are going to mark it on the wire. We are going to make the U-loop. So the two vertical arms of the U loop, they should be parallel to each other. So make sure they are parallel. See, the wire is touching the labial surface and the two vertical arms of the U loop are parallel to each other. And now we'll proceed to the next U loop, the second U loop. We're going to mark it on the mesial third of the canine and give a 90-degree bend downwards towards the gingiva. Make sure the plane is correct, and then give a 90-degree bend and straighten the rest of the wire. Check it on the cast. Okay, now mark for the U loop. Mark it on the check it on the cast. So this part of the labial bow is not touching the cast, so we are going to just hold this bend and just open it a bit, so that it's in the same curvature as the cast. So the wire is touching the cast all over properly, and now we are going to give the occlusal bends for the retention arm. Now we are going to mark on the wire between the canine and the first premolar. Cut the extra wire. Check it on the cast. For the second U loop, mark it on the wire and give a bend. Cut the excess wire. Check it on the cast again. So it's roughly done. Now we just have to adapt it on the parietal surface. It is the most crucial part So we have adapted it on the palatal surface, and now we are going to give the tagum. And this is how a labial bowl looks like. It should touch all the surfaces of the incisors and the U loops and the palatal adaptation. Thank you.